podcast with the Three Money Amigos. Today, you have two of the Three Money Amigos. It'll be myself, Brent Simpson, and Joyce Sistrunk, CPA. We will be missing attorney Beverly Winstead today because she's working. So, with that being said, we're still covering the topic many of you all want to know more about. Should you buy a car in your company's name or not? Before we go into some of the details, let's introduce who we have with us. Joy, if you can start.
Sure. So I'm Joy Sistrunk, a CPA in the area, back tax, accounting, and audit needs.
And my name is Brent Simpson, co-founder of Investing Education Academy, along with Leon Noble. Now, we are missing attorney Beverly Winstead of the law office of Beverly Winstead or the Winstead Law Group. If you are looking to get in contact with her, you can go to www.irshelpattorneys.com. They are IRS litigation professionals, experts. So if you have a conflict or issue with the IRS, you can turn to the IRS help attorneys to get you through that conflict. All right. Now, with that being said, today our topic is, should you buy a car in your company's name? We heard a lot of people ask us this question. I've asked this question before myself. Joy, do you get this a lot?
But yes, I get asked all the time. The honest answer to anything else, it depends. It really depends on the type of business that you have. But what I want to say is, if it's just a regular car that you're driving back and forth to work in, the answer is probably no. If you're in a profession like you're a plumber or you're
We had a technical issue. So basically, what I think Joy was saying essentially was, if you're in a profession that requires you to drive a lot and you have a work truck or a work vehicle, something that you're
yes,
using every day to haul.
to haul,
Okay.
caterers, floors, those types of people, that this is all you do. And this is all you're using it for, as your equipment, your tools. And usually, as a good measure, you always want to put signage on it. So it is specifically used 99.9% for that business.
Yeah. So some of you all who just wanted to get the Lexus or the Mercedes or the BMW, whatever it is, but you drive it as your everyday driver, but you go do 4 meetings every month in it, doesn't sound like that'd be the best use of the
Exactly.
best time to buy a car.
It's not. And what people don't think about is, when you open your business up to liability. So when you buy a business vehicle, you have to get separate business insurance, which is more expensive because this no longer falls under your personal car. So you have to get a separate policy. And it's almost like having a brand new drive. So the policy is naturally going to be higher than what it would be if it was your personal car.
Now, for those people who think, well, I'm going to get a car that meets the qualifications of, I don't even know what it's called. It's like essentially over a certain weight.
Yes.
By default, that doesn't mean it is a business vehicle. Let's be clear.
Oh no. Just because you bought it and it was over a certain weight does not automatically, because you could buy, for example, a Yukon and it could be over a certain weight. That doesn't mean that it's a business vehicle. Not at all.
You still want to think about how you're using the vehicle. And for those of you all who are just coming on, we're talking about, should you buy a car in your company's name or not? And what Joyce Sistrunk, CPA, shared with us earlier was the fact that if you're hauling, you're a caterer, you're plumber, electrician, and you actually have equipment, or you're hauling your goods in this vehicle all the time, and it's predominantly, I mean, like 99% of the time used for work events only, then it makes sense. But other than that, you really have to give some strong consideration to it. Is it the best use of your company's write-offs?
Right. And then the second one is, when you go to finance the vehicle, interest rate is based on your business your business credit, which could cause you to pay a higher interest rate from the business than you would as an individual, because your business may have credit established.
Well, this goes into business credit. So when you're establishing business credit, a lot of people think that it's always by default separate from your own credit. And in most cases, correct me if I'm wrong, Joy, when you're first starting off a business and you go to get something that requires credit, they are going to check your credit history. Now, as you grow and you start to do more things independently of the company, it makes sense to start to look at the Dun and Bradstreet number. You know, are you putting some of the debt into the company's tax identification number to create that, you know, history for the company? Are you doing things to establish credit history for your company? Joy, I think you were about to say something.
Checking your credit, and you could have A1. If the business has no credit, no.
All right, so we're having a few more technical issues, but the biggest thing is understanding what type of credit you have. Do you have A1 credit? Do you not have A1 credit? When your business is starting off, your business has no credit, and you know we think, oh, okay, since it has no credit, that's good credit. No credit is not good credit, people. No credit, really. If I had to say what side of the coin is on, no credit is more closely connected to bad credit than it is good credit. You agree?
Yes, I do. No credit is bad credit when you're trying to buy something, which causes you to have a higher interest rate.
Which means that your money costs more money. So when you know, we talk about this all the time, when you're looking at financing these vehicles, office buildings, whatever it is, when you don't have good credit, you're paying more money. But this isn't the credit one, so we're going to come back to that for today. Let's make this kind of put in summary because we're having a few technical issues. If you're looking to buy a vehicle, you want to make sure, number one, the primary purpose, 99.9% purpose of that vehicle is solely for commercial use, meaning it's for your business. It's easily what would be the word? So you can easily support the fact that this vehicle is used for your business if you are ever audited. Would you say that's accurate, Joy?
That is 100% correct.
All right. When you're doing it, don't try to just get a car that you know. If you all know you're driving this car to pick up the kids, to travel to your cousin's house who lives in North Carolina or wherever it might be, don't make that the vehicle you try to slide into the business sector, because when it comes time to defend the purchase, it might be very difficult. Or if you are using it for business purposes, some of the time, Joy, it is possible to not buy it in a business name, but to write off the business use of it. Is that correct?
Absolutely. All you have to do is, not all, but you should just be tracking your mileage of your vehicle. And right now, I believe the personal mileage rate is like 0.67%, 0.67 cent for every mile. So 67 cents on the dollar is what you get for every mile that you drive, which is much better than any gas receipts you could keep, any maintenance that you do on the vehicle. So yes, your personal vehicle is the miles you do for the business are still deductible. You just have to track them properly. And if you're like me and most people in the world at this point, you have a cell phone. So there are apps and things that you can download that'll help you just track your miles. And it actually knows when you're in the car. And it'll ask you when you get to your stop, was this business or personal? So that you can have that log, because when you're being IRS, that is what they look for. They want to know, how can we even determine that this was business? And so having that log helps to assist you in proving that was a business expense. So that helps. To your point about the car, you can't just buy a car and say it's business. When they go to look at it, you can spend $100,000 on it, but if you can't justify why, if it wasn't ordinary and necessary, just because you spent the money on it, doesn't make it a business expense.
Yeah, I think this leads into a great part two. We can talk about what types of travel in your vehicle is like eligible to be written off and what travel isn't. So this leads us definitely to a great part two. And before we go sign off today, Joy, what's one of the top things a person should think about when considering to buy a car in the company's name, even if it's something we repeated earlier?
Sure, they need to consider the cost. You said it earlier about the cost of money. You can have the dealership run the numbers both ways if you do it personally or whether you do it as a business. And I'm almost guaranteeing that the cost of getting it in the business name, it's going to require more money. It's going to require more of a down payment up front, and interest rates are going to be high. And interest rates, as we all know, are creeping up gradually now. So when you add those two things together, it's going to cost you more upfront. So is it worth it just to have it in the business name?
No. So everybody, if you're trying to get in touch with any of the Three Money Amigos, you can do so with this, just following the information they're about to give. Joy, if they're trying to get in contact with you, what can they do?
Sure. They can reach us at 301-577-6444 or via our website, which is www.pgs-cpa.com.
Yes, and if you're looking for attorney Beverly Winstead, you can reach her at www.irshelpattorneys.com. Again, if you have any issues with the IRS, you received a letter that you don't understand, you know you're probably going to have some litigation that needs to be done, or they did something wrong and you want to make them aware of it, that is the company to get in contact with, the law office of Beverly Winstead or the Winstead Law Group. If you're interested in learning how to invest, you can go to www.ieamembers.com, and that's where you will find Investing Education Academy. We help our members learn how to invest in the stock market, real estate, cryptocurrency, and other investments to make sure that each dollar that you have becomes your employee. Everybody, thank you for being with us, and we will see you next week.
Thank you.